Haha. Thanks to our resident researcher, Ulf Ullring, the question has been answered. What is a Holmegaard bow? What is Mollegabet bow? Where, when, why, how? And so that is good. I might have come off as being somewhat obtuse and dense. Sometimes I need to be like thumped over the head before, boom, my thoughts align correctly, but I think that there is a lot of conflicting information, and so like the cedar juniper debate, which, you know, if you've been a long time watcher of me, you see that some things aren't as clear as they should be. So I think I can clear things up. But first, I'm going to have to play quietly so I don't disturb my wife. This is the mystery song of the day before we get into bows. Now it's time for bows. You get extra credit if you can identify the mystery song. Okay, so there are basically two bow types from the archaeological record or anthropological record. Holmegaard, several bows found in Holmegaard, Denmark. I believe they've been dated to about 9,000 years ago. And this mystery that suddenly popped up because there was a blending. Is it a Holmegaard? Is it a Mollegabet? Is it a Holmegaard? Mollegabet? And suddenly, several years ago, not too many years ago, the Mollegabet started popping up, but they were still, in many people's minds, connected with the Holmegaard bows. Denmark. They came from Denmark and they're old. They're kind of the same, from the same period of time and the same bows. Now, my confusion arose from Volume 3 and I believe Volume 1 of the Boyer's Bibles, traditional Boyer's Bibles. I do not own Volume 4. And that is important because in the first 3 volumes, they were talking about the Holmegaard bows, about 9,000 years ago, found in a boggy place in Denmark. And there were several bows. One of them was thought to be a backwards bow. Let me just get this. The handle is still a little sticky. Oh, this is a jewel of a bow. But it was thought that instead of this being the back and the handle, you know, sticking towards the archer, that it was like this, and it was shot backwards. And so that was one distinct kind of bow. It's a backwards bow. The second was this one that had these constricted limbs. And in the Boyer's Bibles, I'm not going to take all the heat from this, is that they believed that this, you know, this little constriction right here and on, that this one acted like a Mollegabet, that it had that stiffened tip and, you know, bending in towards the handle. And from what I did, I determined that, hey, that bow, which could be confused with the origin of the Mollegabet, actually bent throughout the limbs. So this is not the origin of the Mollegabet bow. This is a proud Holmegaard bow. So then where does the Mollegabet come in? Well, Ulf, who is a valued member of this team, sent me this link to a fragments of a bow that were found in the water, underwater, and Mollegabet is a submerged ancient civilization, society, culture, and it included this section right here, where there was this blade, bow-like, limb-like piece of wood, and then it pinches down into a thickened, very narrow handle, and then the story of the tip is lost and the story of the handle is lost. There was just, you know, a little bit, and people connected that with a bow. Using the dimensions, and it's sometimes just a guess, they took these fragments and kind of constructed a bow around it. It's like finding a dinosaur tooth and then creating a whole dinosaur kind of affair, maybe to a lesser degree. They determined that this was approximately 5,400 years old from a different place. This was found like on land, and the Mollegabet remnant portion was found offshore. That it was a short bow, like a teenager bow or a kid's bow kind of a thing, and very short. And so that answers my question. Thank you all for that. That there is a fragment that has a wide limb going to a narrowed, deepened kind of a thing. Now I read through as best I could, because it was in French, you know, conjecture upon this thing. There was somebody that made two bows, Holmegaard, Mollegabet. Other people thought it could have been a spatula. You know, when you have fragments like that, it's like, is it a bow or is it not? It's hard if you don't see a tip with string marks on it or a handle, you know. I believe it could be very well a bow. But Ulf, again, thank you for answering that question. That there was indeed a fragment. It has nothing to do with the Holmegaard bows, in where they were found, and also the date in which they were crafted. And so that's good. So all of you who have wondered, hopefully I answered the juniper cedar question in past videos. And now, what is a Holmegaard? What is a Mollegabet? This thing is neat. And if you picked up on this, I thought, like, this was a sacred object to whoever made it. It really was. It's a talisman in some ways. It's a giver of life and a protector of life. And something so important would be adorned. Now the originals probably didn't have rawhide backing. But I have rawhide backing on here, and it's like, if I was that person so long ago, I would take this and I would have to not only craft it into a working bow, I'd have to make it my own, and that means marking it somehow. And I happen to have, from backing bows, I had these very thin triangular sections of rawhide, so I soaked them. This is a good way to do applique work on rawhide. I soaked them in hide glue, warm hide glue, until they became pliable, so they were infused with hide glue, and then wrapped them around in a spiral pattern. No paint, no drastic decoration, just a nice, cool little spiral of rawhide on either side of the handle. The sinew, I did not sand it. I wanted to leave it sinewy. Isn't that pretty? And I do know, I admit, that it is not a strictly stave-made bow. It's made from a board, but it was made from a board that followed a growth ring. So when you look at the belly, you see growth rings, the patterns, the feathering out, that make it look like it was a stave-made bow. That was good. Project Holmegaard was a success. I made a bow with good tillering, the way it should be, probably pretty close to the original. I know where the Mollegabets came from. I know why they were called Mollegabet. Life is good.